What is up? What is up? What is up? Don't forget to subscribe and check out my channel playlist for individual tutorials on logic, sculpting, animation, music, and more. And follow me on Dreams. Right now, I'm actually creating a fighting game. Yeah, that's right. We're going in with it. It even has combos, as you can see. We're going pretty hard with it. So it's either going to be called Dreams Fighter or a fighting game. Genesis, one of the two. And you can follow me on Dreams for content. You can read this also. I still gotta add the E somehow. So this right here is my lighting tutorial for Dreams. My lighting tutorial. It's very simple. It's very simple. I usually go to game whenever I create things. So what we're gonna do is create a black background by using sun and sky. This has nothing to do with the lighting, but you can actually use this to sort of enhance your lighting, if that makes sense. I think, yep, we did it all in like one step, so this can actually affect your lighting. Let's see here. I think this right, as you could see, so if you follow my steps on the screen, everything I just did, I turned this down to here, and then I raised the tint of the sky up. And then this right here is like what the reflection is of, well, I don't know how to describe it, but here. So you usually typically want to turn that to that, and then you can mess with the glow if you want to. So lighting right there, mess with the range, you know what I'm saying? Lighting for the sun and the sky, and then you got your cast shadows. Then I think sculptures have this thing for cast shadows, glow, emit glow. You can mess with this. Cast shadows, no, yes, you can mess with this. There's a glow right here. Waxiness, shininess, all that great stuff right here can actually affect what it looks like during lights. There's a glow right there also. Usually black isn't going to shine anything back, if that makes sense, because I think the color black absorbs light and sound. So, you know, just more you can know. Just trying to make sure there's nothing I'm leaving out. You can check and see what this is. Visibility. That does not mean invisible. Or this does not mean transparent. And then you have the sound of surface stuff. If you were to like step on it and stuff, you can mess with that. So let's go ahead and get into the nit and gritty of it. Here's some gradient effects you can use. You can also use a wiper. So we'll talk about this also because that can affect the lights. But for the most part, here we are. Here's your light. Here's your light. Change the color of the light, right? Right here. You can also put the light inside of a timeline. That way it's only powered on for a set amount of time. And you choose the glow, how strong you want it to glow. There should be a thing to change how foggy it is, maybe. Change the cast shadows. Use an image, so pretty cool. Image blur. Beam. So if you're like in a cave setting, here you go. Or you can make fish underwater, here you go. So that fogginess that you're seeing, you can actually, should be able to change that with the sun and sky. Let's try this. Let's go ahead and turn this down, see what happens. You can press L1 and square on it. So as you can see, it's making a lot of things happen. Makes some pretty dang cool effects, but that's because of the fog. It's not really clearing it up. That sort of made it sharper. This will change the thingy, or maybe this will. Let's see here. And that's pretty much all of that. So the sun and sky does affect things, just so you guys know. So right here, like make it a area effect. Change the color of it still, do that also. Let's go ahead and pull out the gradient effects. So that's for this kind of stuff. So like if you were to have gotten hit, you know what I'm saying? If you wanted it to be this way for like a split second through a timeline, you can do that. Or through an action recorder, have this recording powered on while it's recording. and then stop recording, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, you can do it that way also. Do this kind of stuff for your lighting. You can mess with this kind of stuff. That's a pretty cool effect. And again, you can put all this stuff inside of a timeline. Even a camera and a camera pointer you can put inside of this timeline, and it'll only be in effect as long as it's as long as this playhead is able to play over it, you know what I'm saying, whenever you press play. So timelines can use that, and pretty much all the, even the sun and sky, all the gadgets that I've showed so far, and the lights. So just so you know, then you should be able to use an action recorder to change the position of one light, or a keyframe. Actually, probably be better to use a keyframe. Looks like it's recording something, maybe. Yeah, it definitely recorded that. So you can do that with keyframes to change the position of just one light, or you could use different lights individually, if that makes sense. So if we had two lights in here, and just like, you know, have this one right here, and then we can use another one, and then have that one over here, you know what I'm saying, sort of like this. So that way if you wanted to switch light positions without a keyframe, all you'd have to do is this. So this one's right here, this one's right there. Play this, rewind it. So this is only active right now. Now this one's active, so it'd switch between the two. And, you know, or you can use a keyframe instead. Depends on what you want to use for your lights. Use light switches also. Pretty simple stuff. If you need a tutorial for that, just let me know. You can use trigger zones to have your lights activate while you're inside of this trigger zone, whatever, you know. If you want to use a control sensor or a label, you know what I'm saying. And if it's labeled the proper label, press L1 and square over your object, or L1 and X first, and then L1 and square. And if it's got the proper label, it'll activate. And if this is in the power port of the light, we'll just use this right now. And it do something like this. You know what I'm saying? It'd activate. Pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. Or you can use tags in that way to move lights around. This is studio lighting, right? So this will only be like this if you have it on. This just allows you to see everything, you know what I'm saying? That's what that's for. That's not going to be like that in the actual game. This is just so you could, you know, work and get your level done. You can move things like this. Stay upright, just mess with this stuff, and if there's something invisible, just press this. If you have, like, you know, invisible microchips, you can press one of these. I think it's this one. See your thermometer right there. Invisible paint, just read through it. Invisible trigger zones. Grid snap. The global settings might have something for lighting, so you can check in there. Has something for the camera, so that's important. This is how you disable imps, or a way. There's like 3 ways to disable an imp. Just turn this off. Then you have your fog. You use effects like that for lighting also. You use a wiper to make the screen black. Mess around with that as you please. And then here's your camera. Or you can use a camera pointer. The camera pointer works with the camera inside of the control sensor. It works with this camera. So the camera pointer's camera is this, if it's inside of a puppet microchip. And you can choose which one you want, remote or forced possession. Then you should be able to make the imp invisible. I think there's a setting in there. There's a setting somewhere else also. on the camera itself. Not this camera, but should be a setting in this camera to make things invisible, and maybe inside of the control sensor to make the imp invisible. So this is pretty much lighting. It's actually really easy. I'm gonna have to turn off the studio lighting. Pretty simple stuff. From this point, just mess around with it. But this should pretty much be the most important stuff about it. If I left anything out, I'll make a part 2. But this is, or if there's some kind of update to the game. But this is pretty much it. Pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, peace out, peace out. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Dreams. I'm Young Tech's YouTube on Dreams. And peace out. Check out my channel playlist for individual tutorials on logic, sculpting, animation, music, and more.